Joining us to discuss what it means for both companies, Gerber Kawasaki CEO Ross Gerber, a Tesla shareholder, and former Ford CEO, CNBC contributor Mark Fields. Gentlemen, good morning to both of you. Mark, how surprised were you about this collaboration?
Well, it's a bit surprising, but it's also very, very practical by the Ford team. I mean, they have these products in the marketplace. They have these products coming. And listen, the bottom line is they needed widespread access to superchargers. And with Tesla having the most superchargers out there, actually a 2-to-1 ratio over the other standard, it made it pretty simple for Ford to say, you know what, I'm not going to spend the time building the own network. Let's take advantage of the Tesla one. It has good reliability, good locations, and it takes one of the inhibitors or impediments away from customers as they think about EVs.
Ross, as a Tesla shareholder, do you like it?
I love it. I think it's just a wonderful move by Tesla because you have to look at the business as different sections. And Tesla charging is one of the most important and valuable parts of Tesla today because the network works so well compared to the competitors. So Ford is making a super smart move by plugging into the network. And for Tesla, they're going to get all this fee revenue from Ford users now joining the Tesla supercharging network, which I think will end up being very profitable for Tesla.
I was going to say, Mark, what was in it for Elon? Is it about the fees, or is there something more to it? Because I can easily imagine a scenario in which they decided to have a walled garden and basically step on the throat of some of these legacy OEMs.
Well, listen, I think there's a number of advantages for Tesla. First off, it just reinforces that they're the leader in this space. When you have, a traditional automaker like Ford saying, I'm going to use their standard. And in their products coming in 2025, Ford's actually going to adopt their North American charging standard, which is a big deal. But secondly, they qualify now for the IRA funding from the government to help further build out their charging infrastructure. So again, they're getting federal assistance, if you will, to aid their business. And, I think one of the most ironic things is, prior to this, the traditional automakers were buying EV tax credits from Tesla. Well, now that's waning. Guess what? Now they're going to start to be able to gain some new revenues and profitability from providing, the charging stations. So I think there's a lot of advantages there. The only disadvantages is, listen, if you're in a Cybertruck and you're in a line behind a Ford F-150 or a Mach-E, that's going to be a bit of a problem.
Ross, there had been some, I would argue, in the industry who were bringing their adoption curve, their long-term adoption curve down a little bit, maybe because less urgency, sticker shock, gas prices are cheap. But I wonder if we really do get this interoperability, if those curves need to be raised again.
Well, I think one of the things is that when they started the charging thing, they wanted to have one standard across the entire world. And a lot of people balked at Tesla's standard and didn't adopt it. So this is a reversal of something from many years ago that was ultimately probably a mistake for these companies. So Ford adopting it is really good. But what really is going to happen is the new model for Tesla charging are these massive charging areas like they put in Santa Monica with 150 stalls. So the worry about like Cybertrucks being behind Fords and all that, I think is legitimate, maybe short term, but longer term, there's going to be tons of charging stations. And so this is a win-win for the climate. It's for EVs, for Ford, for Tesla. And it will help mass adoption of EVs on a much greater scale. So, I'm very, very excited about this because ultimately our goal is to see EVs become a dominant, vehicle in the global, driving world, and so this is going to help a lot.